Hello, fourth graders. Welcome to math. Today, math is going to look quite a bit different than we've done so far in the first 2.5 weeks. We're going to play a game called Fraction Basketball. And so you're on the first step right now where it says watch the video that was linked into today's math slide for directions. So way to go. You're doing step one. And then you're going to gather some materials that you'll play with today. I have some rough news for you. We're not going to be using your math journal today. I know. I was pretty upset about it too. I think you're going to get over it though. I know you can. But what you will be using is you got to come up with something to use as a ball and something to use as a basket. And then you'll have some pencil and paper that you need too. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a ball or a basket. I'll show you what I used in the next slide and give you some ideas of what are some other things you could use too. You're going to find an open space where you can set up your basket. You should be able to shoot baskets from at least 10 feet away, or if you need to be a little bit closer, I guess that's fine too. It's really up to you and depends on what you use, how big your basket is. You're going to take 10 tries to shoot the ball into the basket. You need to keep track of how many you make out of 10, and you're going to do 3 rounds of 10 shots each. Then, as you're keeping track of all this, you're going to do the assignment titled Fraction Basketball in Seesaw. Your teacher's already assigned it to you. You can type your answers in or use the draw tool. And I know some of you get frustrated with using that. I do too. It's not as easy as I wish it was. But if you like doing that, that's fine. Or if you're just going to do your work on your scratch paper, each of these pages that I'm going to go through is going to be a page in your assignment. And so you could just take a picture of your work right onto that page. That's totally fine too. All right, let's get into our materials. So the first thing you're going to see on your assignment, it says take a picture of the material. So each of these slides is in your assignment. So I did this, and so I'm going to go through with you what I did for the assignment. So you can always refer back to this if you're confused on a page. I'll show you how to do it with my fractions that I came up with. So take a picture of the materials you used to play fraction basketball. Here's what I used. So I used one of my kids' stuffed animals as the ball. I have a pencil and a pen here. I'm just using a clothes hamper as my basket. And then I use a tape measure as well. You can estimate if you want, or you can actually get a ruler out or tape measure if somebody at home has one, and you can measure and be exact with it. And so some things you could use crumpled up paper as your ball. You could use a wastebasket as your basketball hoop. Some of you I know have a Nerf hoop already and a Nerf ball, and just use that if you want. You could use anything. You could go outside and find a stick and see if you can throw a stick into a bucket that you have. It can be anything. Be creative. You're just looking for something that you can throw something into, right? That's it. Just make sure it's not something valuable that you're going to break, please. Okay, so these are my materials. All right. The next step for you is to measure or estimate about how far away your hoop is from where you are shooting for each round. It can stay the same each time if you choose. And so what I did in my first round of 10 shots, I said, I'm going to try from 10 feet away. And so I just write 10 feet here. Then my second round, I'm like, I want to make it a little harder on myself. So I did 15 feet. And then my last round, I was 20 feet away. You'll see how I did with that. Okay. All right. So now write the fraction value of the shots you made out of the total attempted below for each round. So all you're doing is your numerator is how many you made, and your denominator is how many you took. And for you today, that's going to be 10. Everything you see here in blue is going to be left open on your assignment in Seesaw. This is what you're filling in, but this is what I did when I shot the baskets, okay? So my first round, I made 8 out of 10. My second round, I made 6 out of 10. And then my last round from 20 feet away, I only made 2. So my fraction is 2/10. All right, but what you do with it, it says circle the closest benchmark. So I need to use my draw tool. Right? And so 8/10. 8/10 I know is 2 away from 10/10 or 1 whole, but it's 3 away from 5/10 or 1/2. So I'm going to circle 1 whole because it's closest to that benchmark. 6/10 is only 1 away from 5/10, and that's 1/2. So I know 6/10 is actually closest to the benchmark of 1/2. And then my last one where I only made 2, well, 2/10. Let's see, if I'm going to get to 1/2, 2 is 3 away from 1/2 or 5/10, but it's only 2 more than 0. So really it's closer to 0. So that benchmark is going to be 0. Don't forget to circle the benchmark when you're doing that page of your assignment. The next thing you need to do, it says take all three of your fractions from each round and add them together. Well, I made 8 in the first round, 6 in the second round, and 2 in the third round. And so my fraction is going to stay as tenths. Those don't change. Remember, when I'm adding fractions, my denominator stays the same. That's why I need to get those same size pieces. But I do need to add up my numerators. So 8 and 6 is 14 plus 2 is 16. 16 tenths. You might notice that that is improper. So what I'd like to do is convert it to a mixed number. Well, if I have 16 tenths, well, 10 tenths is 1 whole. So I have enough to make 1 whole. If I take 10 tenths out of 16, that's going to leave me with just 6 tenths. So my fraction now is 6 tenths. So my mixed number is 1 and 6 tenths. Okay, next step, I got to put them in order from least to greatest. Well, actually, we made it kind of easy on you today because every fraction has the same amount to make up its whole. Or in other words, the denominators are all the same. So tenths. So since the pieces are the same size, the more pieces you have, the bigger it is. So 2 tenths is my smallest, 6 tenths is in the middle, and then 8 tenths is my biggest. All right, now using that information, I want to try to estimate about where they'd go on this number line. Think back to the benchmarks. I put 0, 1/2, and 1 in already for you. You'll see that on your number line. Well, like we talked about with benchmarks, 2 tenths is closer to 0 than it is to 1/2, so I put it about here. 6 tenths is really close to 1/2, so I put it here. And 8 tenths was close to 1, so I put it closer to 1. And so if I think about this, one thing I could do is I could put all my 10 equal pieces on this number line and it'd probably be a little more accurate. But I know that gets kind of hard to do when you're just using a mouse or a touchscreen and things. So I just estimated about where they should go, right? But think about what you know and compare it to the benchmark and where you think it should go on this number line that goes from 0 to 1. And then you're going to have one of your fractions. You don't need to do all three. If you want to, great, have at it. But create a drawing that represents this value. And so I chose 210 and I made a fraction bar. And so I have 10 pretty close to equal pieces as best I could with a mouse. This might be one where you want to take a picture of your drawing on paper. That might be a little easier. But what I did is I have 10 equal pieces and I shaded in 2 of them. This shows 2 tenths. You could have done 10 X's and circled 2 of them. You could do any sort of picture. You could have done a circle and split it into 10 equal pieces. You could use objects. Maybe you have 10 objects on the ground and 2 of them are orange. So I have 2 tenths of the objects that are orange. Take a picture of it and put it in there. Be creative with this one too. Do it however you choose. Just show one of your fractions or show all 3 if you'd like. All right, and now the last thing that you're going to be doing, you need to find one equivalent fraction for each of your 3 fractions. This is really what we've been working on this week. And so I started with 2 tenths, and I know my rule for equivalent fractions is whatever you do to the top, you got to do to the bottom, or whatever you do to the bottom, you got to do to the top, right? We got to multiply or divide by that 1 whole. And so in this case, I just doubled the top and bottom. So 2 tenths is the same as 4/20ths because I times the top and the bottom by 2. With 6 tenths, I decided to reduce and simplify. I decided that I was going to divide the top and the bottom by 2, right? And so 6 divided by 2 is 3, 10 divided by 2 is 5. And then with my last one, I just made a big one. What did I multiply the top and the bottom by? How did I go from 8 tenths to 81/100ths and keep it equivalent? You probably know I multiplied the top and the bottom each by 10 to get 81/100ths. Okay, so now that you've seen all of the steps, right, it's your turn. You're going to go into Seesaw, like I said, and after you've got all your materials, take some shots, keep track of how you do, and then make sure you fill in all of the things on Seesaw. Don't skip any of the pages. If you do have any questions, though, let your teacher know. And then now that you are a fraction basketball pro, you can challenge a family member to a game or try around with trick shots. Have a great rest of your day. But remember, if you have any math assignments in Think Central that still need to be completed, be sure to go back and finish them. I believe you had 3 so far this week. Okay? Make sure you get those done. All right, guys, have fun with it today.